Some of the most exciting features of the R3 release, which came out on the 20th of August 2021, are the tax features. If you'd like to find out more about what else was released, you can go to the home page from any page in Intacct and click on the Read the R3 release notes. There you'll find a highlights video, and as you scroll down on this page, you'll see on the left-hand side as well there are videos for some of the other features or some of the specific features, as well as notes. So I'm going to go down, for example, you'll see there's an all changes section, and if you go all the way down to tax, this is where a lot of what I'm excited about lies. So what I'm going to be showing in this video is this change the tax detail feature. The reason that this was important is that Sage Intacct on the order entry and the purchasing modules decides what tax detail to provide to a transaction based on a combination of the contact tax group and the item tax group. I will show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to come over here and go into order entry and into sales invoices, create a new sales invoice. And there, if I choose a customer, I'm going to view this customer so that you can see that this particular customer is sitting in a tax group entitled local customers. I'm going to go further down and choose an item, online payments. And once again, I just want to show you that that item is sitting in a tax group, South African VAT tax solution, and it's sitting in the standard rate tax group. So what the system will then do is, based on this tax schedule mapping, it's going to say, oh, okay, we've got a local customer, we've got a standard rate, therefore the tax detail that we're going to give you for this particular line item is standard rate output. And there you can see that 15% tax rate. However, if I were to choose an item that is in a different tax group, for example, fees, which if I go and select, you can see are in the exempt tax group. Over here, I can see that the combination of local customers and exempt gives me exempt and non-supplies, which is a zero rated tax detail. Hence, if I come here, I can see that my tax rate is 0%. So what we have found is that sometimes you have scenarios where you are maybe selling an item that in this case is zero rated, whereas in other cases it's not. Maybe you have a blanket of items or a number of items that fall into one item group and you only use one item code for it. And there may be other reasons that you need to override the tax detail. And what was previously possible to do was to override the tax amount, but what you would end up with, I'll show you here, is, let's say my price here is 1,000 and I've got that tax now that's automatically calculated of 150. This override tax button has always been there, and what I was then able to do was change this, say, to a figure of 200, and if I go and hide that, I can see now that my tax is 200, but unfortunately my tax rate is still 15%. And for customers who pull this tax rate field onto an invoice template, that just doesn't work. So thankfully with this latest release, and I'm going to reset that to allow it to recalculate for me. With this latest release, what I can now do, as you can see, it has calculated the 15%. I'm going to override it because I want to make this a 0 rated item. And I can now choose a tax detail, which will then automatically populate that transaction value. And if I click on calculate subtotals, that change comes into effect. And I now have a 0 tax rate here, as well as no tax on this particular transaction.